You know what's not pretty dope?
Oh gosh. Okay, yeah, you
You
sent me
ready?
this earlier today.
All right, here
Yeah,
we
the
go.
price. Okay. No spoilers. You go ahead. Break it down.
Ah, ladies and gentlemen, I have good news and bad news. Good news: PlayStation VR2 has been announced with a release date and a price point,
Yay.
and some games that'll be coming with it. However, the bad news, and most people may not like this, it's launching at $550. You know how much PS5 is, Mike?
Isn't it less than 500?
If you get the digital, yes, the digital is
Yeah.
400. The main one, $500. What does that
Yeah,
mean?
that's
The
more
VR is more
expensive.
expensive than the console. Which I think for some people, probably something you didn't want to hear.
How's that possible?
Well, I could probably give somewhat of an idea of why that may be possible. Sony's launching the PSVR2 headset on February 22nd, priced at $550. And VR headset itself will include Sense controllers, and stereo headphones, but a Sense controller charging station will be available separate. For those that don't know what the charging station is, if you want to charge your controllers wirelessly, you will have to pay $50 extra on top of the 550, so that's $600 for the full gambit, if you will. Pre-orders for the PSVR 2 will begin on November 15th, limited to Sony's PlayStation Online store in many markets, including the US, UK, France, and Germany. Games including Horizon Call of the Mountain will also be available for pre-order later this month. The PSVR 2 headset is a major upgrade over the original with an OLED screen, 110-degree field of view, and a 4K HDR support. It also supports up to 120 hertz for smoother frame rates and gameplay. VR headset has 4 cameras built into the front of the display, so you won't have to set up external cameras to follow your movement. We were, and this is again from The Verge. The Verge said we were impressed with our initial hands-on with the PSVR 2. And the writer's colleague Jay Peters describing it's a major upgrade and an improved single cable setup. There is still one cable, right? It's not fully wireless. We're not the I'm trying to think
Right.
of what's the name of the Quest headset that's wireless.
Oh.
It has a
Uh
name. Why am I
you sent you sent the video. I didn't watch it today. I was too busy.
No, not the Quest Pro. I
Um
think Quest Pro is still wired. I'm thinking
talking about the one you sent me that Linus Tech Tips did a video
no,
on, right?
that's the Pro one. I don't think it's fully
Okay.
wireless.
What's
Um
just the Quest then?
Maybe it is just Quest. I don't know. I get confused by these names. It's like there's so many. Um but yeah, the bottom line, this one is still wired. Um while the headset is a big leap forward, get this. Get this, Mike. You will not be able to play original PSVR games on it.
What?
Shaking your head. I see. I'm the exact same way, dude. PSVR games are
What?
not compatible with PSVR 2 because PSVR 2 is designed to deliver a truly next-gen VR experience. That is the way that's the way they're touting it. Um,
Why?
Dang, dude, bro, you're telling me I was spending $550 on top of $500 per console, and then I can't even. It's not even backwards compatible with old PSVR games. What are we doing? Like, what is going on here?
I,
Um,
j- I'm just like I'm at a loss for words. How the heck is that? Who makes that decision and why? I
Vice
need
President of
answers.
Platform Experience at Sony, dude. That's who. So, the
What
what,
platform experience? There is no experience. Where are my games, dude? What are you talking about? Platform experience?
bro?
Oh, cool. 11 new games. By the way, you can't use the old ones. Get
So,
effed.
I'm gonna make you even more mad, Mike. You ready for this? While there are around 500 PSVR games available, Sony has only announced a handful of titles, with 11 more announced today. Horizon Call of the Mountain, an original title in the same universe as Zero Dawn and Forbidden West, looks to be a launch title, with VR versions of Resident Evil 8, Resident Evil 4, and No Man's Sky also on the way. VR versions of Star Wars and the Walking Dead games are planned as well. Sony announced 11 new games in PSVR 2. You got the Dark Picture Switchback VR, you got Cities VR Enhanced Edition, Crossfire Sierra Squad, The Light Brigade, Cosmonius High. You have Hello Neighbor Search and Rescue, so a Hello Neighbor kind of spinoff. Jurassic World Aftermath Collection, Pistol Whip VR, Zenith The Last City, After the Fall, and Tentacular. And that's it. That was all that was announced. So,
Did you mention the one thing that like is so it's kind of ridiculous that you can't play the old games.
mm,
You know, it's just really unfortunate. Is where can you use the PSVR2?
I'll tell you right now, Mike. You thought you could use it on a PC, didn't you? You
Yeah,
thought you could
you
use it
would
on a
think
PC, didn't you?
that
Oh,
that's
you
what I
would,
said.
ladies and
I
gentlemen, you would
remember
think. No,
I remember we reviewed this like when it was first announced. We talked about the specs, the performance. We went through the hardware, everything. It's in the past episode, and then I was like, imagine if this is on PC when Unreal Engine 5 comes out. Remember that conversation?
I forgot
What are
it,
we
but now
doing?
I remember it.
What are we doing, man?
Dude, I mean, it's just the whole like, just like, just crapping on backwards compatibility and not making it
Which
available.
is
I mean, it's the whole thing with I remember the Xbox. Remember the Xbox One? It launched and there was like no backwards compatibility, and they
oh
eventually
my
added it. They added it
gosh,
over
they
time
had
because they
to.
had to,
They
because like they
had
need to play
to.
360 games on my console.
Oh man, the fan base was so upset.
Majorly
They were like,
upset.
"We're okay. We're just gonna keep playing Halo 3 for the rest of our lives in Modern Warfare 2.
Yo, no,
You
my
better fix that
360.
console."
I didn't switch to an Xbox One until probably like 2-3 years of the console cycle. I'm just on a 360, bro.
Same,
Like, dude, it's
same,
just the longest time. It's a while, but
same. Because
yeah,
of that,
yeah,
and the
because it's just
always
like,
online feature that's now.
yeah,
Uh,
dude,
we're gonna go on. We're gonna go on a tangent here.
we'd go on a
I think
massive
the
tangent. Listen,
PSVR2. What are you doing?
what are we doing? Is there a market for this? I don't know.
You
You know,
tell me, man.
I don't know. Like, because I look at this, see, as someone that owns a PC, I look at this and I'm just like, the Quest looks nice. I just don't. You're not
Yeah,
compromising that much on like a modern like Quest headset or like a modern like you know HTC headset. Like you're just not. I don't know. There's there's headsets that are just as comparable, if not maybe a little bit worse, that you could get for less money, and it already works for what you have, and you don't have to buy a console to use it. And oh man, it's like, and don't get me wrong, PSVR, I'm pretty sure it sold pretty well, but it's just like it was also less than the console that you're supposed to pair it with, which probably helped.
yeah.
But yeah,
That's a tough sell.
I think it's a really tough sell. I mean, even if you have a PS5, it's if you have a PS5, I mean, most people that own a PS5, and well, I don't know, maybe that's not true. I was gonna say most people that own a PS5 probably have a PC, but that may not be true because I think a lot of people that do get
I don't think
consoles,
so.
probably just have the console in their living room. They're just on the couch gaming. So most people don't
Yeah, I
take it
think
as
that's
seriously as your boys at the M2 podcast. But
that's a fact. It's a fact. Shout out to the guys playing PlayStation with open mics and COD because you just continually get bopped by me. You guys are free real estate.
completely free.
Oh, your reaction time on those little controllers, you ain't getting shot. Got no shot. Even with aim assist, you're still getting bopped.
Oh, still,
Um, I'm still shouting. So I'm looking over here at the MetaQuest. So it's the MetaQuest 2.
yeah,
They haven't
that's
released
it.
the 3 yet, but the MetaQuest 2, it's $400. Okay?
There you go.
It's a limited time offer right now, $400. And then you got the MetaQuest Pro, which shout out to Lions Tech Tips and specifically you for sending me the video that I have to freaking watch tonight.
Yeah,
That's $1,500. So I gotta understand why that's $1,500.
yeah.
And
Yeah, the thing about that headset is I've immediately marked that as like, okay, this is for businesses only. So I'm no
yeah,
interest. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of just like I wouldn't that's just not my market, which I've just accepted. I mean, I don't know.
yeah,
Maybe there's something crazy, but it seems to me that like especially for most consumers including myself, like just give me the Quest 2 and I'm chilling, you know.
yeah. True. I mean, the main reason why I brought it up, right, is because it's like if this VR2, PSVR2's coming out in February around the same time that the MetaQuest came out with $1,500 worth, it was like this is 550, and then the MetaQuest 2 is $400. It's like you could possibly hit that niche of performance worth the money if you put it on PC as well.
Yeah, definitely.
So it like now I've kind of just lost like all interest in it, to be honest.
Yeah. dude, I'm right there with you. It's like, I mean, because if you think about it too, if you have a PlayStation 5, I mean, you're gonna have God of War. You're gonna have all these other like games. I mean, the 2023 lineup. I'm not fully sure what's
Hmm.
coming out on PlayStation next year, but I know there's gonna be some pretty good games coming out that don't require a headset. I mean, I think it's still like it's to the point where like there's still so many games to play on a PlayStation 5, and there's only gonna be more that like
True.
are people that already own the console gonna want to be like, oh, I've exhausted my use of the actual console and want an upgraded experience. Like I feel like most people aren't gonna like want to bother with that, especially right now. Um,
Yeah.
I mean, a
There's not
price,
games
yeah.
for the PSVR2.
I mean, yeah, a price drop. I mean,
So
again, a year after launch, yeah. I mean, there might be something worth it there, especially for people that already have a PS5. But I mean, and if they add, I mean, who knows? If they could somehow add like a software update of some sort to actually make it viable on a PC, that would be great. But I just don't know how realistic that is, and I'm not an engineer, so um, not my place to say. But God, it's a hard sell to say the least.
it'll be good to see the reviews though.
Yeah,
All
always.
of the new stuff that we've been talking about, like specifically the Elgato's new 4K cam, and then this PlayStation VR2. I very much want to see like reviews and how it
Yeah,
compares to other products of similar performance.
yeah, for sure.
So
I think the feature that I'm interested to see the most in this is going to be the 4 cameras on the actual front of the device. How that's going to map out a
exactly.
room and like
Yeah.
how it's going to make that experience because that could be pretty huge. And I know like even MetaQuest Pro, I think it does something similar. It just has like
It
cameras
does.
everywhere, so it's just like it can map out the room. And who knows? I think the biggest thing for me when I hear about VR, I'm more so not as interested in VR as I am in AR and like what they can do with like just augmenting the reality around you and not necessarily
Yeah.
isolating you because I think that interests me more and I think it's where VR is going to shine the most on a consumer level. So that's the path of
Yeah.
virtual reality that I'm most interested in, at least in the current state. Um,
Yeah. I'm on board with that. I mean, there's so many things, so many industries that could use that,
yeah. I mean, I think the
like just in
biggest
business.
Yeah, the biggest thing I saw recently that could be used by anybody is like if you have a laptop and you have like AR, if you have like AR glasses or goggles, you can essentially have you seen this where it's like it turns your like laptop into like a 3 monitor setup?
Yes.
Like, dude, that is
Yeah.
wild. And you're just like sitting
It's
there and
so
all of a
cool.
sudden you have a whole desktop setup over just a little laptop. It's pretty sick. Stuff like that is like mind blowing to me. So that's what I'd love to see more research and development put into is stuff like that. And who knows, like just looking at the wall and seeing a giant screen with nothing there,
Yeah.
it's like that would be sick, dude. Um, Opportunities are endless, and that's what gets me excited about VR more so than like the PSVR2. No offense, PSVR2. Um,
Yeah, I'm right there with you.
yeah,
I think that's a good idea.
for sure.